right, folks, we are back. Still working on it, still doing some body work, but I'm gonna rush through that. I'm trying to just slow down. I'm just trying to finish one panel at a time, work to the next panel, just looking for little imperfections and stuff. You know, sanding the edges, doing yada yada. Not much to say, we're doing that. But today's plan is going to be, well, I'm going to take that door off. I'm going to have to fix that hinge. So we may as well do that before there's paint on it. I want to do those braces that I said I was going to do on the bottom side of the truck. So we're going to start with those. And, well, I don't know. We're going to start with those. That's the small goals, see where we get from there. I would really like to get this thing, get that done. We still haven't got the exhaust, so can't touch any of that just yet. Might look at the choke situation what I got going on. There is, I think, none. Last time I drove it, it was like sticking or doing something weird. But that's where we're going to start. So we'll kind of get our way there. Might pull all the wheels off. I might sand them and actually get some paint on them. I kind of have an idea. I think I want to paint the centers the same that I'm going to paint the bumpers. So I have to get some paint for that. But hey, we're very close. We're getting close. I say that all the time, but I feel like we're actually getting there. Because I'm feeling within the next week or two, we're actually going to get some paint on it once I finish up a few things. Oh, I think what we're actually going to do is actually get some paint on that roof. Because next week I'm going to have to order some vinyl. So we can kind of get that going. We have to still finish that tonneau cover, but the roof is more important to me. The tonneau cover can sort of wait. I have some parts for that, so time will tell where we all get. So there's a little scatterbrained with all that, but for right now, I'm just still working on it. I did all weekend. I was kind of working on stuff, and now there's just small little imperfections, like little weird edges and things like that that I'm actually touching up. So I'm kind of blasting through that really quick, and then well, we'll probably start on the bracing underneath the running boards, because I need to have something just to hold it. That is just sheet metal. Not that it's a step. Nobody's going to step on those, but I feel they're going to vibrate and some weird stuff's going to happen. So we may as well brace all that up. Anyways, I guess we'll get going. Well, the other day I was talking about this thing, Ryder's quad, how he broke his motor, and well, I got the plastic. I didn't take any pictures of the motor, but it's good. It involves I don't know if it dropped the valve or what happened, but it's a complete mess. So anyways, he got this other motor, like I say, it's a 400, it's a twin, so we're trying to make that all fit. Anyways, most of the plastic, everything seems to be like it's gonna fit fine. I have to try to sort this out here, but fuel tank is going to be the issue. So we're probably not going to have that on, and we're going to make some custom fuel tank to go on there. So that's Ryder's coming out, and that's going to be his plan, is going to do some cardboard CAD and try to make a fuel tank. I've got to get him to tape it and kind of build what he thinks will be a good sized fuel tank to sit on here, and then we'll steal some parts off of his other tank, like the Peacock, and we'll have to find something for a filler, because I don't really want to use this thing because it's got a key, and Ryder's probably going to lose the key, so then he won't be able to get fuel in there. So we'll be able to take this off, we'll cut this, somehow mount this onto said new fuel tank, but I am guessing what he's going to have to do is try to figure out some way to build a fuel tank that goes on there. And for me, as long as he gets his he's got to bring his stupid seat with him, because then we can figure out how far that thing can go down. Anyways, yeah, that's what's happening over on this front. I'm actually surprised how well that came out. I didn't think everything was going to cooperate the way it did. Anyways, we are got the hinge out. You can kind of see, like, here's where the pin's supposed to be. It's not there. It's kind of wants to stay in there, and it probably pops out. I'm sure if what I plan to do is stick this in the vise. I'm going to give this a whack. It's just going to come out. So all I'm going to do is drill it out, and I'm going to just run a 1/4 inch bolt through there. And that should be pretty much a simple fix for that thing. At least I think so. It's already broke, so I can't make it more broke. Let me see here. See if we can bing bang this thing. See if I can find my hammer and we can knock this thing out right now. Somewhere. There we go. I feel as though this is, you can see why my door would work and then not work. There we go. So we'll center punch this thing. Do the same through there. I think these we might be able to drive out, and we'll oversize them a little bit, and it'll be fine. It should work out okay. All right, so we kind of cardboard catted a new fuel tank. It's looking actually really good. Now we have to figure out how to dissect it so we can put it to steel, huh?
Yep.
So now you see what I was talking about, using it?
Yeah.
And you get a full visual of what it looks like. So now we know exactly the size of steel that we're going to need to do things. So I'm not sure how many pieces we're going to make it, but when we take it off, we'll kind of make the tank. We were going to do like a fuel peacock. If that's the right way to say that, I don't know, but I don't think it's going to work the way that I want. So we're just going to end up having like what are you going to call it? Won't be a valve. We're just going to have a hose and we're going to have like an on-off. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to use that. There's no room for it anywhere. So we're just going to basically have a line in there that's going to go, and then we'll just get a manual like on a garden tractor where you can turn it on and off. That's how we're going to have to do it on here. And then the top of the tank we'll have to figure out off a car or something to do the fuely part. But anyways, we got this comes off, so this is our perfect template of what the tank should be, hopefully. And then we're gonna have a whole world of pinholes and anyway, this seems pretty good. I think it needs a little bit of tweaking, but for the most part I think we can do this possibly in like 1, 2, 3, and it depends if I have enough steel. We can make this one outer ring as one. We might do it in 2 and just cut it down the middle and do them as 2 halves. But if we can do it as 1, that would be ideal. So next thing is to dismantle and transfer to some sheet metal. Won't be too bad. We'll basically carve the top off. That'll be like the one piece. This is going to be the next piece. This bottom piece is right. So if we can, I would really like to do this as one piece, because we'll just basically find a middle point. We probably should mark things so that we know where they line up, because we know that they went together that way. And that way we can kind of like tack weld in the middle, and then we can slowly just keep rolling this thing around, zapping it, and it should actually be what we wanted. And not end up with big gaps like the size of my thumb in there. You got to try to fill with weld. Cool. We'll have to go dig around so we got some steel. Ryder doing all the fine finishing. I did the really loose cut for him. Now we got all the pieces. You can see we kind of made some marks on it, which are roughly where these things are supposed to go. So if I remember right, this one kind of lines up right here. And then the second mark, it's kind of like sewing. So we're hoping that this thing will go together just as good as the cardboard template went.
Yeah.
So we basically tried to snip this thing apart as nice as we could, and well, then the goal is hopefully reassembly is just as easy. I found a few other pieces here, but I think this will be the top. So we're trying to do this one as one big piece because I feel it'll be easy or if we do that and just kind of flip and fold it like that. Then we mark these, so hopefully that just makes this a very simple puzzle to zap back together. And then we'll see how well Ryder's welding is, because get to make fun of somebody else who's going to have about 1 million bubbles into everything. Or you can practice TIG welding. You like that. Definitely going to get MIG'd. And I'll go over with the TIG after, once we see how many bubbles gets blown out of everywhere. Those were the bottom. There's going to be a lot of hammering and dolling on your part because we're going to get this started, but you're going to have to so start with one zap on this. Oops, hold on. There you go.
There we go.
Yep. Better one. Go right in the middle. Right in the middle. Yeah, you're gonna have leaks. Your tank is gonna leak. Alright. So we got our template started. This has got to go something like that. I think ideally bend a lot more. Got a mark down there and a mark up here. I don't know how to make this easy, so. Yep.
Alright, one right there.
Yep. Okay. See if we can get this side. How good did we get it? I think this one's off. Hold on. We might have to bust something. Something's not working out here. Look how far off we are. Well, that one did line up. So let's get one right there. We can get one side, we'll figure the other side out. I'll just stick one right there.
One right there.
No, but closer that way. Cool. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on here. Try to figure it out. Has to get over there, if you know what I mean. I think we gotta get a grinder and we'll bust that. Best friend here is gonna be see how we're off. If you're gonna end up doing anywhere that's kind of like that, you're gonna give everything some little light massages. So let's get one right in there. That's good. Isn't that bad? Stick one right around there. So the bottom is a little bit. So like I say, whenever you see stuff, there's a little gap, right? Before you weld it, just try to tighten it up. You want to try to avoid filling gaps. It's going to possibly leak. We're doing pretty good for the most of it, but you can see these little edges, there's a little too much material on there, so that's what I'm trying to snip it off. Pretty snazzy. Gonna steer? Yeah. Is that better than what you thought it was gonna look like?
Yeah.
It's not perfect, but it doesn't matter. It's good enough for you, right?
Yeah.
You figured you were gonna have a big square tank like on an outboard or something. All right, we're gonna go around. We'll tighten up these a little bit more, and then I'll let you go to town, weld it up slowly, and then I'll go back and I'll help you fill all the pinholes in there. thing was a bugger to drill out. But got that drilled out. The upper part annoyed me, so we just heated it with a torch and bopped out those pins. And then I just stuck a 5/16 bolt in there. Got Ryder to booger on a little tack for me so that thing can't come out. And then we're going to smash this back in the truck and hopefully my door doesn't hang. That's the plan. Ryder's still continuing on. How many pinholes is everybody going to bet that... how many bubbles? Is it going to bubble everywhere?
No.
There'll be a few, but that's okay. I'll get on the grinder down and I'll go walk the TIG over it, and that'll I'll walk the TIG welder over all of his welds, and that should seal it up. Then all we have to do is do the cap and that little drain. We'll probably put the drain in there for the fuel run, and then we can do the cap after. That one's not so big of a deal. Pretty easy to put in later. Anyways, I'm going to get this door back onto the truck and hopefully never have to take it back off again. Although I am surprised how easy it did come apart. Well, that worked out well. I'm pretty happy with that. Didn't mess up too much stuff. Seems pretty good. We got it back in. Our latch is in. The door, I don't know. I think this mech, because I painted it, kind of hangs up a little bit with the door, power door thing, but it'll sort itself out. Not a big deal. I think I have pretty much the bodywork done. I don't know if I mentioned all that. I work in my panels. I'm now working just this upper section around. So we'll kind of finish up a few little things here and there. So I got there. Yeah, pretty much I did from here all the way around. So we're kind of now, I'm at eye level. Got to check down because you can see here, got little splits hanging off the sides. So we got to sand that down. Then work around the edge of this hood and stuff. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Around here, still rough, some stuff there. I got to get this latch working right. It's kind of miserable, but it's well, it's necessary. So we gotta figure it out. But I think that's where I'm getting tonight. Was helping Ryder a bunch with his bike. Kind of seen some of that. We kind of have his tank sort of mocked up now. So hey, it's not bad for the kids. Like first round at this. We're not even going to attempt to pressurize it because I know it's going to be a complete mess. So I think he'll probably be back tomorrow. I'll get him to grind it all down. I think I will. I was going to go with the laser, but I'm thinking I might be better with the TIG welder. And basically, once he cleans it, I'll just go over it all till I feel good with it. Then we can pressure test it, see if it's good. And then we got a little S10 cap. So the plan is we're going to cut it off right around there and get rid of this ring, and then we'll hole saw that thing, put it in there. I'll weld it in, and I think the next step beyond there is we'll make some tabs so he can bolt it onto the bike, and then he's good to go. Got to give him kudos for his first little round here. And this is like, I'm kind of prepping him for doing the whole cardboard CAD. You've seen a lot of that. And that was just so he can get comfortable, like making patches for his floor, realizing, I think he kind of grasped it off that round. So he, it's making sense to him. Another shot or two, he'll be good to go. All right. Anyways, I'm going to call it a night, and well, we'll hit it tomorrow again. We got one coat of paint on this thing. I'll probably put a little more. I want a nice thick M&M coat of paint on this thing for before we wrap it in vinyl. I wasn't really going to do anything with it, but some folks were saying, yeah, you're being an idiot not to do that. And it actually made sense because if you put the foam and then the vinyl, there's a chance it could trap some moisture at some point, and then it'll cause it to rust like normal vinyl tops. So we're just going to give it a really thick coat of paint. Hopefully that helps it, saves it. I got to still flip it over and do the inside, but for now I got to let this dry, or I want to let this set a bit. I'm going to put a second coat on. I know I had the roof on, but I know in the one corner over there, you can probably see it. I have it marked out where my window's supposed to be. And I know that side, it doesn't touch the glass, but it is so close. So I'm just going to kind of beat a little zinger into the panel so I get a little more breathing room around the glass. I got to touch up a little bit back here at the grinder and stuff, but for the most part, I'd like to get some paint on here, and then I have some, hopefully I got some thin like padding that will work on here and still fit on the truck, I hope. And then we still got to fit this glass, or I got to figure out the back glass. I did get some from Bill at Vavavoom, but I got to cut it down and I got to get a glass made or something So I'll have to work on that. I'm going to use it as a holder for my vinyl, so when the vinyl goes around, I can kind of, and it'll hold the vinyl tight. My intention down here is to have probably like some kind of a chrome strip somehow with a molding that I can hold that vinyl there tight. So I'll either do that or I'll run the vinyl up and just kind of go underneath, and because if my foam idea doesn't work, I'll use the vinyl just as something to save my paint not getting bashed all the time. And then over here, my plan is going to be, now I'm going to cut some 1x1, and I have some 1x1 up there. There's a little lip underneath where I made this come and folds under, so I'll be able to like tack screw it or do something along here, and I'm going to hold it. And then on the inside, I kind of want it to come down in and somehow fasten to the frame, just so things don't wiggle or can't wiggle. I might have to make it rubber mounted now that I think about it. I might have to make a simple mount and then have these connect to it, maybe with a double something. It's just so things don't rattle and the bodywork starts cracking or whatever. Like, I mean, it's inevitable, it'll happen. I'm pretty sure I am running exhaust straight out the back, so I'm second guessing my headers. The motor's bone stock, so there's really no need for headers on it whatsoever. I did build them just for this truck, but we can always find another use, or I can cut them up again. But I'm thinking I'm just going to put some normal manifolds on, because it's just easier to route the exhaust. In my eyes, the frame's high enough up because the body's essentially channeled down, so I can run the exhaust fairly low and not ever touch anything. So might go in the shed, dig out a set of ram horns or something like that, just put some regular manifolds on. Just makes the exhaust so much easier. There's a less chance of an exhaust leak, because my experience with headers, I always get a leak. Always. It doesn't even matter if I buy good gaskets or anything. I just don't seem to have luck myself. But so we're gonna get started on that. We'll probably use our new fast cut to make some mounts. But yeah, let's just start. First thing first, we're gonna make some simple brackets. Let's do that while I'm waiting for paint to dry. So I made all these brackets. We cut them out on the plasma, just kind of splashed a bit of paint on everything. We did it 1 by 1 on the back. This thing's attached to the frame. This is attached to there. It's bolted up. I have to pull it yet and stick some rubber in between the outer and that thing. But for now, I just have it zapped up because I kind of ran out of screws here. So the idea is this 1 by 1 can unbolt and come out. So I still have to drill all of these. I don't know if you can see or not, but I got to drill all of these and tap them so I can bolt this 1 by 1 and I can take it off from the lower lip. The idea is that I can kind of just squeeze some rubber in between those so it doesn't rattle. At least that's my plan. But I ran out of screws, so I'll get a few more screws. I'm going to pick up some really thin rubber that I can kind of pop in between all that and sandwich it down, and then I can drill and tap this 1 by 1 to, I don't know, just to hold things, just to give everything a little extra strength. Just ran out of screws here, so I got to still finish up this side like I did the other side. And it's low enough that the truck doesn't actually hit the ground like they're going to scrape or anything. So that part's good. I think what I'm going to try to do, I don't know how much work it's going to be, so I might just scuff the wheels and see if I can put some paint on it and clean the white walls, because that's what everybody wants to see. I was personally kind of keeping those almost as a, I don't even know, a buffer getting junk on it. That's why I just had the dirt on there. What was I doing? So it's actually walked right by it. I have picked up some of this stainless paint. It's like a duplicolor. This is what I use. This is what I'm gonna use for the bumpers when it comes time. And I think the wheels might look good in that too. I don't know if it'll have a look of my one oddball wheel. I know some people like these wheels, some people don't. I don't know. I wanted like Supremes, but I don't know. I'm trying them. The wheels cost me nothing, so I'm okay with that. You can see how this one's a little different. It's like a little spiked on the edge, whereas the other wheels here are kind of oval. They're just kind of rounded, so I don't know. I got to try to see how I can get all that garbage off of there, and then I'll try to, whatever, splash a little paint on it and see how they look. Wheels are a thing a guy can always change. It's not a permanent thing, so might switch it up and put steel wheels at some point. I don't know. I just know I have 14-inch white walls, so whatever I use is going to have to be 14-inch. I can't do too much on this front yet because this paint is still tacky. So I gotta wait for that to dry fully so I can flip over and then scuff and then get some paint in the inside. I do have to beat that little section that's in the way out, but yeah, that's about where we're at. So I'm gonna, I guess, start getting on some wheel duty and start doing some sand and see if I can strip the paint out of there and I can splash a little paint. that turned out pretty good, eh? I didn't go too nuts with this thing. This could get polished and sanded out better, but it's good enough for my liking. I like the gray. That's the plan on the bumpers, is going to be that same gray. Not as dark as that, but I do like the contrast between the two. Makes it not a completely shiny wheel, but even though it is. But, so I got another 2 wheels to do, and then the other one's kind of clean, so I'll kind of deal with that one after. Anyways, I guess till I can, I guess I'll just start. I'll try to do one more wheel tonight, and then I guess tomorrow I'll do another wheel, and if I can at least get this one stripped, that'd be pretty good. Well, guess I gotta get started then, eh? Let's start over here. So Ryder's been grinding his tank. We can tell there's going to be a lot of pinholes, but that's okay. What we're trying to do is just get this pretty close. I'm going to run over it with the laser, and then we will pressure test it and see if it leaks. Yeah. Right now we know it's going to leak, right?
Yeah.
Over on this front, we got all the tires all painted. I needed some washers. I was going to go hunt and find, and I thought about it. I got a plasma table. Why don't I just cut them? Because they are just 3/16 steel. So this is one of the real washers. And then these are the ones I cut. So you can't really tell the darn difference other than my first cut. I had the washers spaced too close together and then they were dropping out. So I just took them all to the bench grinder and just cleaned them up, tidied them up a bit. But anyways, those all work. So all I'm going to do now is get some, what do you call it? Well, we painted it so it matches the wheels. That's kind of what we did. Because the new ones, I had some washers, but they're wrong. They don't come chrome anymore. They're just like a zinc covered or something. So we did these. Like I say, I still got to get the right lug nuts, but at least we have all the washers in place. So that's good. We'll have to make some caps at some point. But for now, I'm just trying to crank everything up, get this all going. And then we'll set up the welder really quick and give that thing a quick weld and pressure test, and then see if it's good enough that we can cut a hole in the top and put the gas cap in. So I went over, zappity zapped everything. I feel if I TIG welded it, it would have been faster actually. Just to gone over everything, but whatever. It's about equally as fast as the TIG welder for this particular stuff. Yeah, that's the water. I'm just gonna put a hose on there and put a little bit of air pressure in it, and well, we're gonna see how good or bad this is. I don't want too big, in case we put too much air in there, I want it to shoot off.
Yeah. Straight on.
All right, back at her. We'll keep doing this till it don't do it. Then we cut a big hole in it. All right, yeah. Now I'll blow this off and I'll try to zappity zap if I can. look at that. That looks good, eh? We still got to clean the wheels better, or the white walls. I still got to get lug nuts, but we got all of our washers are in. So that's all centered. They're all, I don't know. I think the wheels look good. Especially once we add a little bit of that silver to the bumpers. Oh, it's going to look nice. Anyways, over on the yonder side, basically Ryder, he ground down his tank, and then I went over with the laser, and like I was saying before, it was pretty slow. I don't know if taking that, what we were trying to do was taking a really long time. It's mostly because when he ground the weld down, and he did what I asked him to do, he kind of welded most of the material away, and I wanted to come in with the laser and just do a nice little weld, and it didn't work as planned. So I tried lasering up the cap, but it was just a little dirty, not liking it. So pretty much just letting Ryder here suffer through trying to make no pinholes. We're going to test that. Anyways, we're going to let him do that. And then I think what we're going to do is we got to make some mounts and stuff on his bike for that. This one, I'm pretty happy where I got. Our wheels are just about done, I guess. We got to do the center caps and the lug nuts. I did get the bracing in there and stuff, so that's good. I didn't get to the other side of this yet, but that'll happen. I'll do that tomorrow. Next video, we'll get that going. I did pick up we got our foam and we got our vinyl. So I'm thinking what my plan, I got to get my sewing machine though, but we just have a white for wherever it is here, white for the top, and then I was going to do some piping on the inside, so we got a little bit of the green. I got to get some green stitching yet, but yeah, we're getting closer. I did get my exhaust, like our little exhaust kit, but I'm still missing the donuts. I'm feeling I'm just going to use the headers because they're there and I have them in, so I think we'll make it work. Anyways, I think that's where we are going to leave this one. So as always, I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.